Hi, I'm Jen with the Phoenix Theater Company, and I'm with Michael Barnard. Michael, introduce yourself and let us know why we're talking to you today.
Hi, I'm Michael Barnard, and I'm the producing artistic director for the Phoenix Theater Company and also the director of Seussical the Musical.
So, since you're director of Seussical the Musical, tell us about Seussical the Musical, the storyline.
Seussical the Musical takes place in your imagination. And it is the story of this young boy or girl that is named Jojo. As a matter of fact, we have one boy and one little girl that are both playing Jojo, and they alternate performances. At any rate, it's the story of this little child, and this child comes from Whoville, and this is a tiny little world that lives on a speck of dust um, in the universe. And this very large, gigantic elephant by the name of Horton is engaged and enticed and begged to please help um, recognize the fact that Whoville exists, and Whoville is under a great threat of being destroyed until until someone like Horton can actually help allow everyone to know that it still exists and it's not crushed and destroyed by somebody stepping on it or whatever. It's also the journey of Horton, the elephant um, himself, and a romantic gesture by a friend of his who he doesn't realize quite at the beginning that she fancies him. Her name is Gertrude. And she's a bird. And then there's also another side to all of this, and that is the character of Maisie. And she is another bird who brings conflict into Horton's life by the fact that she has an egg, and it's her egg, but she gives up on this egg, and she wants to go out and enjoy life, and so she coerces Horton to sit on that egg and bring the egg to life. All of this is happening through the imagination of this uh, little character in Whoville. And the person who sort of weaves the entire story together is the cat. And the cat is a feline cat in our case. And she helps to teach um, Jojo how to use their imagination. Because you have to understand that Jojo comes from parents who are the mayor and mayor's wife of Whoville. And they've been very strict in the upbringing of Jojo. And Jojo must work hard on their grades and uh, basically the life of Jojo is get up, have your breakfast, look over your homework, go to school, come back home, do your homework, have dinner, and go to bed. So there's no real childhood, and this cat comes into being to help the child um, find their imagination and freeing this child to be the best um, person they can possibly be, and actually frees this child's imagination. And with that, the child grows and becomes so much more mature and thought provoking and creative, and becomes a useful and wonderful citizen of the world. So that's what Seussical is all about, is the ability to free yourself, become who you were always meant to be, and fulfill your imagination, and allow that imagination to take you to wonderful places on this earth.
Can you describe the set and how you're going to show that world of imagination on the stage?
Well, the entire perimeter of the stage will look like these sweeping waves um, that can change color and etc. And that is like the world of imagination, if as it were. And then things come in and of this out of this world as JoJo dreams and thinks them to be. Now JoJo doesn't believe the cat at first because it's very skeptical, and JoJo's never tried to think beyond the homework, or just being a very regimented, strict young boy. So the cat has to engage JoJo into and trick JoJo into thinking, and once that happens, JoJo's mind of imagination comes to life, and with that, things come in and out, and slide, and sometimes the cat produces it, sometimes the cat wheels it in, sometimes the cat instructs other characters of the show, the citizens of the Jungle of Nool, and Gertrude, the bird, and Maisie, the fiery Latin bird, and the sour kangaroo, and the Wickersham brothers, who are the monkeys, and all these crazy, the bad girls are and their crazy nonsense, and all of them, the crocodile, the lion, the zebra, all of these crazy characters that Dr. Seuss has come up with. The cat also plays a number of characters to help tell the story, and help become characters that JoJo thinks of and thinks about, uh, and brings them to life. So you will see all these wild madcap things coming in and out, and etc., popping up from here and there and everywhere. And sometimes they pop up in the audience, sometimes they pop up from the floor of the stage, where they can swing in, or uh, all sorts of a variety of crazy, Seussical looking objects, and terrific world that so they come and go as JoJo thinks of them.
Very cool. So, Seussical looking. Can you describe some of the costumes and props we might see in the show?
Well, we took what is called an anachronistic look to the costumes, so they are not necessarily exactly how Dr. Seuss has drawn them, but they definitely have a nod to Dr. Seuss's drawings. But what's really cool for me is that we took things that a child might find and use on their own to create a costume at home, or if they were let loose in a thrift store, and be able to create their own costumes. So it's a little bit about a child's imagination, and and that's the other thing is, if you if you provide everything that the child needs visually, then what's the point of imagination? What's the use of imagination? So they looked like all the wild and fun costumes have a nod to what the character what the character is like emotionally and physically and etc., and also Seussically. um, but it leaves you with some room for your own imagination.
Very cool. So, what kind of collaboration happens between you and the set designers and costumes designers and lighting crew to capture that feel? That not quite giving away all of who, but also inspiring that imagination.
Well, there's a lot of conversations that go into a show like this because it can be done in a myriad of ways. I wanted to stress the idea that that any and every child who's sitting out there in the audience could be JoJo themselves. So I wanted to bring it to a modern world that we live in, and the fact that maybe one day the cat will come into the bedroom of any child out there and help that child learn how to explore their imagination. So we had lots of conversations on, well, how do we go about this? How can we nod to we can create our own world. We can create our own imagination. We can create our own land of Seuss, the the Jungle of Nool, or Doctor Dake's office, or Whoville itself, or the Circus McGurkus. All of these locales that it goes to, we can create on our own, and so it's made up of the art of Seussical and also what can be found in your own backyard or closet as well. So, because of that, there's been a lot of conversations between the set, the lighting, and the costumes to help tell that story in that way. And there's also a lot of breaking the fourth wall where we can actually converse with the kids out there, especially the cat, because the cat is really is the one that um, allows Jodo to set their imagination free. So Jojo actually is in control of the show, and the cat is the entity that allows the imagination to happen. So it's cool in that way. Took a lot of conversations about well, what should we do here, and how can we complement each other there, um, and so they've all come up with some great ideas and very collaborative so far. So it's been really fun.
What excites you about the show?
Um, I think that the world is in such a difficult place because we've all found, I think we've all found ways of isolating ourselves into a telephone, into a Zoom call, um, into our own automobiles, into video games, etc. And this is all, and so much of all of this is done for you. You can look up anything without researching it. You can do a video game, and all everything is provided for you in the video game. All the bells and whistles and lights and crazy characters and etc. You can watch TV and the movies, um, and everything's provided for you. Here in the world of Seussical, it's up to you to provide it, and you can change it as you go. So, and it brings everybody together. And I think young or old, um, freeing yourself to be the person you were always meant to be, and finding the joy of fitting into a world. Everybody has everybody has a special and unique place in this world, and sometimes I think we've allowed ourselves to forget that, and Seuss brings that back to life.
What are some adjectives you'd use to describe the show?
Creative, spontaneous, fun, wacky, um, fast paced, joyous, um, heartfelt, entertaining, fun,
What are strong emotions throughout the show?
love, laugh, love, humor, laughter, um, joy, sorrow, jealousy, um, frustration, courage, honesty. I think those are the words.
Okay. So you recently directed Cabaret. So a little bit different. What draws you
A little
to
bit
the
different.
different productions that you direct?
I I tend to be very interested in stories that delve into why humans do what they do, um, why they make the choices they make, whether they're smart or dumb or courageous or brave or vindictive and evil. What what causes those kinds of things to happen, and then what are the consequences of those actions? I think that's another thing that we've lost sight of is realizing that every choice you make does have a does have a consequence to it, and it's we've lost sight of owning up to those consequences. I also think I'm very interested in characters and people that are heroines or heroes in their own light. There are uh, thousands and thousands of heroines and heroes who are everyday people that nobody really knows them as famous individuals, but they're heroes and heroines to the people around them. And I think uh, it's important for us to celebrate them.
I get it. Dr. Seuss stories often have a deeper meaning, deeper
Mhm.
message within the whimsical surface. So, how do you plan to highlight those themes of like friendship, community, those everyday heroes that you just spoke about?
How do I highlight them?
Hmm.
Um, through the way I enjoy storytelling, which is to look at the text of the piece and uh, getting to the heart of what that text is. I think I, it's. I don't look at a piece and say, "Oh, what can we throw at this to make this work, or what can we do to make that work?" Um, I really look at it from its heartbeat and approaches shows so that we understand in the storytelling why this person has made the choices that they have, um, and what happens because of that, and what did they learn from it. So I think I can do it through uh, moments of staging, um, moments of intent or pace, or sometimes through lighting, sometimes through costuming, sometimes through dance. Um, so uh, I look to find out how can I focus the audience's attention on on these particular moments that actually get to the heart of the story, and I so that's what I do.
You do it so well. What do you hope audiences take away from the show?
That everybody in the world is important, and everybody makes a difference, and if you're true to yourself, truly true to yourself, then you will find the ability to have a wonderful life.
Very cool. So we're at the fun section. So these are flash questions. You just answer first thing that comes to mind. Cool?
Oh boy.
You
Okay.
ready? You ready?
Yeah.
So choose a carnival game that you play for forever.
Say that again.
Choose a carnival game that you would play for forever. Like something at the fair. What game that you would play?
Um, the what's under the three eggs? Which one has which one has the item
Which
that's
has
meant
the card? Okay, gotcha. Um, what is your favorite flavor of pie?
banana cream?
Mm, bananas. Odd. What is your favorite holiday?
Christmas.
If you could have dinner with one character from your show, who would it be?
From Seussical?
hmm
Horton.
If you could transport any person to see your show, Seussical, who would it be?
Oh gosh. I think it. I think a child, um, any child that has has not been allowed to have an imagination.
Mhm. Share a behind the scenes habit or superstition you have.
I always end every rehearsal by wishing everybody a Merry Christmas. My mother was a Christmas holic, and she thought that every day should be Christmas, and I inherited that gene, and so and it wasn't. It's not about every day should be Christmas, meaning you should get a present every day or something like that, but rather the ideals of what Christmas were meant to be, which was a celebration of um, being able to give back, that caring, love, community, um, uh, honoring your spirituality.
What's the last song that you listened to on your phone?
What?
What's the last song that you listened to on your phone or that you sought out? How about that?
Hmm. Um, um, I'm trying to think what was the last song I listened to. Shoot.
What's your
Um,
favorite song? How about that?
One of my favorite songs comes from musical theater, and it is a song called "Anyone Can Whistle," um, and it's from a little-known musical called "Anyone Can Whistle." It was written by Stephen Sondheim, um, and I've always loved that song.
What book or movie would you bring to you on a desert island if you were stranded? Assuming, I guess, we had a TV and you had unlimited electricity on the island. What book or movie?
Oh, I see. Hence the movie, right?
hmm
Um, I love. Oh, what is that? Now I can't remember the name of the damn thing. It's a Christmas movie, and it takes place in London.
Love Actually.
Love
That's
Actually.
one of my favorite movies, Michael.
That's one of my favorite too.
If
I
your
could,
life,
I could watch that movie every day.
me too. I had a little thing for Alan Rickman. Weird, but I know. If your life were a musical, what would it be called?
Choices.
Awesome. I think that's it. Thank you so much for sitting with us and chatting and letting us dive into your mind of Seuss.
Thank you.
We appreciate
Thank,
you. Thank you.
thank you.